guys, and welcome to another video where today we're going to attempt to predict the scores and results for week 24 of the Premier League season 2017-2018, which means there's only another 14 games left after this weekend. So we're running through the season. Of course, it's the World Cup in the summer, which I'm looking forward to in Russia this year. But moving on to the scores from last week. You only scored four and I only scored four. Terrible week. And in the comment section, most people didn't fare much better. I think there was only two people who actually had more than us, and they both had 6 points each. One called Manchester City,
who are playing next week as well.
Cardiff City are playing in the FA Cup fourth round after defeating Mansfield, of course.
The fake Man City.
And the other person who got 6 points was Oluwatobi Ogunkanol. I hope that's how I pronounce it. So that's Oluwatobi Ogunkanol. To you, Toby, for sure, I'm guessing. Well done. But that's it all in the past. Let's have a look at this week and on to week 24.
Okay, so the first fixture is Brighton versus Chelsea at the Amex or Farmer Stadium, whatever you call it. So Chelsea last week they drew 0-0 with Leicester. They've been on a steady run of form so far, but their opponents Brighton they are now down to 16th. They did draw those 3 games on the trot, and they did lose last time out against West Brom, which was actually quite a surprise fixture, to be honest. But Chelsea, I think they're going to have to bounce back really after that draw last week. So for that reason and that reason only, I am going to say that it will be a 2-1 victory to Chelsea. There will be goals in this one.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a tight affair. Chelsea don't give that many goals away. Brighton find it difficult to score. They haven't won in about 4 or 5 matches, as you said, as well. When they won at home, they are at home again, but I can't see them beating Chelsea. And I think Chelsea are going to be too strong for them. And I'm going for a 2-0 victory to Chelsea. And maybe Morata will actually score for a change. He hasn't scored in a while, bit of a dip in form. But we know the likes of Hazard, Williams playing well as well when he's on the pitch. I think Chelsea are going to be too strong for them. Moving on to the next fixture, we got Arsenal.
Oh boy.
Against Crystal Palace. Now Arsenal, of course, had that defeat against Bournemouth. They're now, they're in 6th position because of Burnley, kind of little bit of a dip in form as well. They're coming up against the Crystal Palace side. Now Crystal Palace, of course, beat Burnley 1-0 last week. It was at Palace, and I think they're going to give Arsenal a real good game at the Emirates. However, Arsenal being home, and they've been pretty strong all season at home, I can see Arsenal just about sneaking a 2-1 victory, even if they're, the likes of Alexis isn't going to be there. Will Ozil play? Walcott looks like he's going to Everton now. So a little bit thin in numbers. Whether Arsenal can get in the likes of Aubameyang from Dortmund, that would be the shock. I'd love to see him in the Premier League, but whether Arsenal,
I don't think he'll go to Arsenal.
Who do you think he'll go to?
I don't think he might get that much game time really, because they do have Lacazette as well. Whether they decide to play the both of them,
the pace of Aubameyang in the Premier League, it'll suit them down.
However, with Aubameyang, as far as I've seen him, he tends to play on his own up top.
But that's how most teams play. Just the way
I don't think playing both Lacazette and Aubameyang, 2 strikers up front at the same time, would work. Maybe if you put Lacazette in central attacking midfield, whether he can play that position, it depends really. But if I was Aubameyang, I wouldn't go to Arsenal just because you can't guarantee game time there.
Yeah, anyway, getting back to the match itself, as I say, tight affair, and I can see Arsenal winning this one 2-1.
Okay, interesting. Well, believe it or not, I can't see, this is going to shock a few people, but I can't see Arsenal winning this one, just because even even at home, the current situation they're in are just because of how strong Palace are, and
Palace are up to 12th now.
How bad things are getting for Arsenal, really, but it's a tricky one because I can just see Palace winning this, but it depends with Sanchez. He just hasn't played properly for ages, but I can see this being a shock fixture.
He's out of the side, so he's probably on his way to Man United anyway.
2-1 to Crystal Palace.
That is a bit of a bold prediction, yeah. Okay, moving on to the next match, we got Leicester City against Watford. Watford have had a massive dip in form now. They're down to 10th position. Leicester doing okay. They got that result against Chelsea last week, of course. And I think they're going to be too strong for Watford, and I can see Leicester running out. There's going to be goals, 3-1 winners.
Oh, interesting. Well, believe it or not, I think it's going to be a slightly tighter game. Leicester, I think they're going to be really tight at the back. I don't think they'll be able to, or Watford, I don't think they will be able to score. But Leicester, you've got Vardy, you've got Iheanacho, you've got Okazaki. Prolific strike force.
And they've got Mahrez as well, supplying the ammunition.
Yeah, so they've got plenty of ammunition, but I think it's going to be a decent match with goals, 2-0.
Okay, moving on to the next match, we got Manchester United against Burnley, at Burnley, of course, at Turf Moor. In the last match, Manchester United totally decimated, you could say, Stoke City. Okay, Stoke had a couple of good chances in the first half,
but really, have a manager either, so.
It really was a little bit of a stroll in the park for Jose Mourinho's team there. In this one, I can actually see them going away to Burnley and winning 2-0. It's going to be close, but I don't think Burnley are on top form at the moment. They don't concede many, but I think it'll be 2-0 to the Red Devils.
Okay, so I think Burnley are going to be up for this one because it's Man United, and most sides will play better when Man United, Man City and all the bigger clubs are playing against them. They're going to definitely be up for it. Sean Dyche is going to want to bounce back, but I can see this one being a pretty close game, and I can see this one only being a 1-0 victory to Man United.
Okay, next up we've got Everton against West Brom. Now, Everton got absolutely decimated last week by Tottenham in a 4-0 defeat. West Brom themselves, they won, of course. They beat Brighton 2-0, which slightly surprising considering West Brom's form for all the season. However, this one, I think Sam Allardyce is going to have Everton. He's going to be, I reckon he'd probably been tearing into them all week in training. They'll probably be buoyed if Walcott signs by the weekend as well. Whether they'll get clearance to play in this match, I don't know, but I can see the Toffees winning 2-1 in a very close encounter.
Well, I think that Everton will easily be able to get through West Brom's defence, to be honest, because they're weak in form. However, they did get through Brighton last week, but Everton are going to want to bounce back from that, and for that reason, and for many other reasons, I think it's going to be a 3-0 victory to Everton.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we got Stoke against Huddersfield. Stoke, as we said before, got destroyed by Manchester United. You could say, really. Poor run of form at the moment. They find themselves third from the bottom of the table. But they are at home against Huddersfield, and Huddersfield don't travel well. Better at home. Huddersfield lost, of course, I think it was against West Ham last week.
Yeah.
And I can see Stoke, this is going to be a bit of a surprise, but I can see Stoke just sneaking this one 1-0.
Stoke, you've obviously got a new manager in Paul Lambert.
They're going to be buoyed by that.
Which is a good appointment, in my opinion. But Huddersfield absolutely awful away at the moment, and Stoke, both weak teams. Stoke are in 18th and Huddersfield are in 14th. Huddersfield are falling down the table, and Stoke, what can we say? But yeah, I think it's going to be actually quite a high scoring match, to be honest. But I can see this one being a 2-2 draw. Really hard to call.
Interesting.
Okay, so the next match is West Ham versus Bournemouth at the Olympic Stadium. Now, Bournemouth getting that amazing victory against Arsenal last time around. They played excellently. Mind Arsenal didn't play that well, to be honest. But West Ham, David Moyes, how is he doing this? This is like the first job, minus Everton, that he's actually done a good job on. But
they're up to 11th.
Yeah, they're up to 11th, playing really well.
Had a good win last week, of course, away from home.
West Ham, they're at home, they're at the Olympic Stadium, they're turning it slowly into a fortress now, but I can see this being a 2-0 victory to West Ham. Yeah,
I think West Ham are going to win this one as well, even though Bournemouth had that fantastic victory against the Gunners or Arsenal last weekend. West Ham strong at home. They rested a lot of their players in the midweek FA Cup replay against Shrewsbury, which they got through in extra time, of course. But I think they're going to be too good at home for Bournemouth, and I can see this one being 2-1, because I think Bournemouth, you know, they blew a hot and cold, and I think confidence-wise they'll be buoyed by that victory last week, and they will get a goal. But ultimately, I can see West Ham winning this one.
Okay, interesting. Well, the next fixture is Manchester City, who are playing next Sunday at 4 o'clock. Oh boy, that'll be an interesting one. Versus Newcastle. Now, Man City, they lost last time around to a very strong Liverpool side. Just Mane, Salah, Firmino playing absolutely phenomenally. And Newcastle, they're starting to struggle a bit. They're down to 15th position. Rafa really needs to sort something out, but Man City, they're going to want to bounce back after that Liverpool loss. So I reckon for that reason it's going to be a 4-0 victory at home to Manchester City. Yeah,
I agree. Guardiola's really going to, you know, he's going to get them up for this match. They really need to bounce back, even though they're like a million points in front of everybody else in the table, and probably foregone conclusion that they're going to win the league, of course. They're up against Newcastle. Newcastle, of course, had that home draw against Swansea, of course, so who were bottom. But in this one, I can see Man City just being too strong, and the likes of Sane and Sterling, Aguero, just going to be too good for Newcastle, and I can see a 3-0 victory for Man City.
Okay, so the next fixture is Southampton, and they will be playing at home to Spurs. Now, Southampton, their fans really want Pellegrino out the door now. Gotta be honest, I can't even remember the last time they've won.
Well, they're down to 17th now.
Down
really,
1 point above the 1 point above the relegation zone. So, I think Southampton really need to get a manager change ASAP.
They haven't won in a while.
The fans really want it as well, but the board just don't seem to be budging with them. And they haven't really made anything in the transfer window either. They're known for their young prospects, but I can't see any of them. That's the thing. But Tottenham, they've been playing well recently. Harry Kane is starting to return to his goal machine ways. And for that reason, it's going to be 3-0, because Spurs, they tend to play it well away this season as well. So, and Southampton, they're in turmoil. Pellegrino might get sacked, but we never know with Southampton board.
Yeah, I can see Spurs winning this one, but I don't think it's going to be a foregone conclusion. I think it's going to be a tighter game than people expect, and I can see Southampton causing Tottenham some problems, and I think they'll score.
Oh, really?
However, ultimately, the class that Spurs have can see that we'll see them winning this one 2-1, and probably Harry Kane will be on the score sheet again. So 2-1 from me. The final match of the weekend, of course, takes place on Monday, and it's Swansea City, the Jacks, against Liverpool. Liverpool coming off the back of that fantastic victory against Manchester City, of course. Swansea went up to Geordie Land and gained that 1-1 draw. I think prior to that they lost against Tottenham, but before that they had that good win at Watford. They're playing this evening in the replay against Wolves, of course, after getting a draw at Molineux. But ultimately, in this match, Liverpool are just going to run riots. They're going to be too strong for Swansea.
Way too strong for them.
Swansea haven't got any firepower really at all. They're like Tammy Abraham, Boney. If they're not firing, then who's really going to score the goals? AU, apart from him, you know, they don't score at all. They've only scored 14 goals this season, and they've played 23 matches, which is a real poor return. And for that reason, I can see Liverpool winning this one at 2-0.
Interesting. Well, they're not making anything good in the transfer window either. They haven't been on the market at all, I don't think.
No, not yet. But there's still a week or two. There is
still 2 weeks left of the transfer window, but I can't see them making anything out of it. But Liverpool, they're just going to be way too strong for them, and for that reason I'm going to go an extra goal from what you said, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory.
Yes. Okay, so that concludes our score predictions for week 24 of the season. As always, I'm going to leave a template of the fixtures in the description below, so as usual, if you just copy and paste, put them in your comment, and the person with the highest score will get a shout out in the next video. Is there anything you'd like to add apart from, is it Pellegrino you think is going to be the next manager to lose his job?
Yeah, maybe this week, maybe next week, maybe never. Depends what the Southampton Bulls say. But in my opinion, if Southampton keep Pellegrino, they're just going to keep falling down the table even though there's only 3 places where they can actually fall down. So they're just going to keep playing badly like they are at the moment unless they get rid of Pellegrino.
You don't think he can get off?
I don't think he can. No.
Okay. Next week, of course, there's not going to be a prediction show because it's FA Cup weekend.
Yes.
So, and you're actually away next week as well. So I'll probably do a retro gaming video. Haven't done one in quite a while now, but really like to do one of those again. There will be a predictions video probably coming out on the weekend of the 4th round of the FA Cup, because there's a full fixture list of Premier League matches on the Tuesday and Wednesday evening of that week. So we'll be back next weekend for another predictions show. But in the meantime, thanks for joining us once again. We'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye, guys.